It's time for another weird succulent. Let's talk about Delosperma. What's up, fellow plant enthusiasts? My name is Dylan and this is Bane's Botanicals. Today we're going to be talking about Delosperma. Like I said, this is another bizarre succulent, and you can kind of see it almost, I guess it kind of looks like weeds, but when you get really close, these things are textured. They're not necessarily hairy, but they almost feel fake. You can kind of see them. You may not be able to see them on the camera, but you can just kind of see the fuzziness of them. And I think, like, when you touch it, you can feel it. It's just very bizarre. The shape of these things remind me of either, I don't know, green beans or maybe pickles. I don't know. I swear I've heard this called a pickle plant, but this is actually, the common name of this is actually ice plant. Why is it called that? Well, as it turns out, these things are actually pretty sturdy. They can survive colder temperatures. They can dry out. They're kind of drought tolerant. And they can take a pretty moderate amount of sun even outside. Now, of course, a plant this small I probably wouldn't put outside. And if I did, I would really acclimate it and make sure that it probably still gets a decent amount of shade, just because smaller plants tend to be a little bit more fragile. But this thing does live up to its name when it grows in places where you can keep it outside more, where it doesn't quite get so cold, but it still gets cold. So here it would die if I put it outside, because in the wintertime it gets down to at least 0 degrees Fahrenheit, if not below. There is a limit on how cold hardy it is. Most plants, well, I can't think of a plant that can really survive freezing temperatures for a long period of time. Now, some can survive a little bit, of course, but eventually that's it, right? I mean, something that isn't native to a cold climate isn't going to survive in a cold climate for a long time. Anyway, it's a pretty cool plant. If you notice right here, I don't know if you guys can see them, but this thing is getting, oh yeah, there you go. This thing is getting some aerial roots. It could easily be propagated, as most succulents are easy to propagate, and this one's no different. So if you wanted to grow yourself some more Delosperma, you could. Let's go and do this. Here is the taxonomy information for Delosperma, and we are in the family Azoaceae. Now, Azoaceae is kind of a bizarre family of plants. A couple of the ones that are house plants that might be good call-outs would be lithops. There is another succulent called Titanopsis, which those are really hard to find. I want to find one. They're just kind of cute little plants. And Focaria, the tiger jaw succulent, those are all Azoaceae. So anyway, let's get into the care. As far as light goes, Delosperma needs bright indirect light. I would err on the side of caution with full sun. But just even under grow lights, this has been growing under my grow lights back here, and it's doing just fine. So just bright indirect light. As far as water goes, you don't have to water it that much. Water it more than a cactus, but less than a tropical. That's where it sits on the scale. And if it's in a terracotta pot, you might need to water it a little bit more. But terracotta is good because it wicks away moisture from the soil. With succulents, there is always the danger of root rot, and we wouldn't want that. But if you did get root rot, it would propagate fairly easily. The soil, I just use a succulent cacti soil just for that extra perlite and sand in there for the drainage. And I fertilize it during the growing season twice a week, and not at all during the dormant season, late fall, winter, early spring. So, and it doesn't need humidity. Succulent doesn't really need humidity. So if you're looking for just kind of a cute little bizarre looking succulent that has a little bit of like vertical appeal to it, this is a good one. I mean, it looks like a plant that would look great on a shelf. So I like it. If you find one, pick it up, why not? I think that's all I have about Delosperma. Let me know if you guys have any other species of Delosperma. I'm not actually sure what species this is, but and it will flower. It will flower if you give it plenty of light, if it's a little bit older. I think the flowers, at least the ones I've seen, I think were pink. So let me know if you guys have had any experience with these as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for your likes and subscribes and for your comments. I look forward to reading what you guys have to say about this. And until the next video, I will see you guys soon. Thank you.